You don't have to wait to enjoy life. Life is about slowing down. It's about getting real about who you are, why you do what you do, and organizing your business in such a way that it almost kind of runs itself.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
I was on my way into work today, and I've already had kind of a trial run on this particular episode today because I turned on my camera and spoke to my all-star team for about 8 minutes. Kind of rambled a little bit, but had an opportunity to gather my thoughts a little bit. And then I got into the office. I haven't even had my morning coffee yet, folks. But I've got all this stuff going on in my head. Hopefully it will make sense. I think it will, because again, I've practiced already on the all-star team. But I want to kind of share with you some of the thoughts that have been going through my head over the last couple of months. First, I want to pause and remind you we're sponsored by OREP Insurance for my E&O, orep.org, and TrueTracks to help me support my adjustments and do a better job as an appraiser. TrueTracks, truefootage.tech is where you find out more. All right, folks, I don't know quite what to theme this, but maybe it's something along the lines of reevaluating my life, reevaluating the purpose of life. I don't want to get too philosophical today, but I tend to get into that realm just a little bit sometimes. As I was coming into work today, I started thinking about my life, and the fact that I was looking forward to coming here to the office, but not really. There was this idea that, and by the way, it's Wednesday as I'm recording this, and that's important because I worked really hard Monday and Tuesday. I don't normally put in full days anymore. I find myself leaving the office around 3, sometimes 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just to go and walk around the Greenbelt out here in Idaho Falls, or go to a movie, or run some errands, or do some other things with my kids. But yesterday and the day before, I was here almost all day. In fact, I think Monday I was here till about 6:30 p.m. My wife was gone for an evening event, and I thought, well, I've got some things to catch up on. I'll just stay here and work through dinner. And as I was going to work today, I was like, man, I've worked my butt off. And I know that's goofy, because let's consider what I'm talking about here. We're talking 2 days, right? It's only Wednesday and I'm already burned out. Not burned out. I actually really am looking forward to today. I've got a podcast interview in just a few minutes with an individual that I'm looking forward to talking to, and a coaching call later today. And then I've got some other computer work to do. But the point is this, folks. My outlook on life has started to shift because of a couple of things happening in my life. Number one, I turned 50 last year. A little less than a year ago, I turned 50 in September. And that had an impact on me. Psychologically, there's something strange that when you go from the 4-9 to the 5-0, at least for me, something happened. So that's number one. A couple of months later, I had my first grandchild. And everybody's told me my whole life, if you knew how great grandchildren were, you'd have them first. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that, but come on, they can't be that great, right? They're just babies. Folks, my outlook on life changed when that kid was born. I love that little soul like almost more than my own kids. And it's a weird thing. The best way I can describe it is, I love my kids, but they came with a heavy dose of responsibility. I love my grandchildren, but that responsibility is on my son and daughter-in-law, not me. I mean, I've still got a responsibility. You know what I mean? The day-to-day, making sure that kid's happy and clothed and changed and fed, and that's not on me. And there is a heightened level of a deepness of love that can come. Anyway, that's happened. I bought a farm. That changes you. When you start to deal with livestock and gardening and just working the earth and dealing with the creatures on the earth. That's an interesting experience. And then finally, we've always homeschooled. My wife has always been home. And my son, my youngest, the only one still left at home, is now done with school and is preparing to leave the nest here in the next couple of months, which has shifted my wife's mindset to coaching. And she's now running a successful coaching business where she coaches homeschool moms and helps them to get started. And so her role has changed, which changes the dynamic in our relationship. And all of this has culminated in the retreat that we had here a few weeks ago in Yosemite area up in California, which really the theme of that retreat was one word, and the word was why. Why do we do what we do? And the other reason I was thinking about this morning is the last 2 days I have met with 3 individuals for coaching. These are one-on-one coaching sessions where we're on Zoom and we're talking through some things. And in every single case, I can say without equivocation, these individuals that I'm working with, the reason they had come to me is because they recognize that they are working too hard. Too many hours. They're spending too little time with their family, with their hobbies, with their health, with life and the essence of life. And I see a little bit of myself in there. I see my father in there. My father always had the philosophy, work really hard now. And that means that I can play later. I can retire and play golf or whatever we do when we retire. And he never made it. He died young. He worked his butt off all his life. He retired, but his retirement was not enjoyable. He retired forcefully because his health was so bad, probably because he had worked too hard throughout his life. And it just, all of this is kind of culminated in this morning. I've got a couple of thoughts. So this sounds a little negative, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to set it up. I'm trying to set up the second half on some of the ideas and thoughts that I might have for not just you, but for me, and how we can best live our most excellent life. I want to pause and remind you that we are sponsored by a couple of companies, one of them being OREP Insurance. We don't think about insurance except once a year, and that's usually around renewal. If you're thinking about it more than once a year, it's probably because you're in trouble. And you're like, oh crap, I hope I've got enough coverage to handle this trouble. Folks, you never have to question that if you are with OREP Insurance. OREP is a brokerage, which means they match you and your particular situation with the best policy and company out there. They're not beholden to one company. They have several to choose from that they can shop around. That means you don't have to do that work. That means you get the best coverage for the best price. Check them out on their website at orep.org. That's OREP.org. Been playing around a lot with AI lately and the way that it has helped me to be a better appraiser. And there are so many great tools out there. But I'll tell you what, folks, I've yet to see a tool that has come about in the last few years that is more helpful to appraisers and their ability to do their job more efficiently and more effectively than TrueTrax. TrueTrax, folks, is a software that can analyze your market and spit out numbers that are absolutely spot on and so helpful in developing our appraisal reports and our appraisal process. Folks, you can learn more and watch their demo videos by going to their website. It's at truefootage.tech. You go to truefootage.tech, click around a little bit, you'll find it. TrueTrax is what you're looking for, and the demo videos. Check them out. It will change the way that you do appraisals. Welcome back. I feel like I should have a pipe, a big beard. By the way, I had a beard recently. I shaved it off a couple days ago. Long story. And I should be, sitting back with my blazer on and this is Masterpiece Theater or something like that. I don't mean to wax on philosophically today, but maybe I do a little bit, because what's going on in my head is that we as appraisers, for the most part, hate our lives, work too hard, are unhealthy, don't have great relationships, are not spending time doing what life gives us to do. And it is a joy as a coach to not just encourage people on that vein or encourage them against that vein, but also to give them real tools that can allow them to get their time back, right? The law of delegation, the technology and AI and then the systems to put it together so that you can work less and actually make more money. This is the big dichotomy. As I teach appraisers, they think that working harder will get them more money. And they think that working less is going to do the opposite. And folks, if you do it right, you can get both. Work less, more money, and enjoy your life more. And that really is the theme that I want to wrap up on today. As my life has changed over the last couple of months, I find myself drifting to the simple pleasures of life. Things that I've kind of put off to the side as I've tried to work hard and build my businesses. And folks, I guess that's the point. You don't have to wait. You can enjoy the simple pleasures of life starting today. Now, it doesn't have to be big. It can be something small. I love movies, right? So maybe I need to take off today and go watch a movie. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go take off today and I'll watch a movie. But it's as simple as I find myself probably 5 to 6 evenings out of the 7 every week on my back porch, on my deck, in the evening. It's beautiful this time of year. 70 degrees, sun's starting to go down. And instead of doom scrolling Facebook or Instagram, I find myself turning on jazz music and just staring off into the trees. I know, I know, I've become that guy. But folks, I want to tell you something. You don't have to wait to enjoy life. Life is about slowing down. It's about getting real about who you are, why you do what you do, and organizing your business in such a way that it almost kind of runs itself. And as you do so, you'll find that your life is enriched, that your life is better. I can help you do that, by the way, folks. If you would love to meet with me, I have some things to share. I would love to help you in your individual circumstances. Find out more by going to my website, TheAppraiserCoach.com, and clicking on the coaching. But as we close up today, folks, I just want to encourage all of us to start to question our lives. And instead of having this idea that I'm going to work really hard and then at 65, I'm going to retire and fill in the blank, how about we start filling in the blank now? How about we start enjoying our lives today? Thank you for joining me today, folks. It's been a great pleasure. Go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit TheAppraiserCoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.